years of my life. It pained me, Baba. If I had a kid out of wedlock, I would have been justified that, oh, Mayowa can do whatever she wants to do. If I had a kid out of wedlock, I would have been justified.
To be honest, this one is not just gist anymore. This one is deep, because the story of Robbie and his wife Tomiwa is one of those situations that you will have to sit down and rethink a lot of things about relationship, about marriage, and even about trust. Now, for those who don't know, Robbie is a media personality, and he actually recently came out to open up about his marriage, or should I say his former marriage, to his wife Tomiwa. They were married for about 11 years, and according to him, the way everything ended is what shocked everybody, like a lot of people, including me. I won't lie to you, I cried when I was watching the video, because imagine this: you are married to someone for over a decade, and then one day you open your phone and you actually find out that she's getting married to another man online. Let it sink in, man. So that was exactly what Robbie said happened to him. And I'm not even going to lie to you. When I first heard about that, I was like, oh Chim, how is that even possible? Like, so tell me, how do you even go from being someone's husband to finding out online that your woman is getting married? Like, how does that possible? How does it sound to you, man? Now, Robbie didn't just stop there. He explained what he claimed he went through in that marriage. So, and this is where things started getting really emotional. He explained further. He talked about how after 11 years of marriage, he is now 48 years and he doesn't have child. That one is heavy. Like, to me, it is heavy. But then he said something that made the whole situation even shocking. So the shocking part is that he claimed that his wife was allegedly using contraceptives without his knowledge during the marriage. As in, are you thinking the way I'm thinking, Sha? Meaning, for years he believed maybe the issue was actually from him, but not knowing there could have been something going on somewhere that he doesn't know about. And honestly, that part is painful. To be honest, it's very, very painful. Yeah. So imagine blaming yourself for something that you did not do for years and only later find out that the story is actually different. Like, you also talk about how he was supporting her financially, sending money, trying to make things work, even when things were not perfect. And then there was also allegation of infidelity. Yeah, according to what he said. Also, he also mentioned situation where he actually felt there were third party involved, emotional distance, lack of communication, and just a general disconnect in their marriage. Yeah, according to him. Now, at this point, I'm just listening to everything and I'm like, no, this cannot just be the full story. Yeah, because one thing I always believe is that marriage issues one-sided, and that's where the internet comes in, because as soon as a story came out, social media did what it's always done. Yeah, it exploded. Of course, it's exploded. Some people are fully on Rocky's side. They are saying this man suffered 11 years wasted, he was too patient, stuff like that, And honestly, I understand why people feel that way, because if everything is said sadly how it happened, then yes, that's very painful experience, to be honest. But then there is another side. Yeah, there is another side. Some people are saying, wait a moment, we've only heard his own version of the story. Where is Mayowa's voice in all of this? And I'm not going to lie, I agree with that too, little bit, because no matter how emotional a story sounds, there are always two sides. Now, things even got messier when bloggers started adding their own angles, allegations about new husband, claim about his own past, different story flying around. And at this juncture, I just had to pause and ask myself that when did this stop being about truth and start becoming pure online chaos? Yeah, because now it is no longer just about what happened between two people. It is about opinion, judgment, assumption, and that is where I want to be careful, honestly, because personally, I actually felt this situation is sad on both sides. Robbie sounds hurt, like very hot, but at the same time we don't fully know what Mayowa actually experienced in this marriage either. Well, I've been hearing online that about sex not satisfying and all, but you never can tell. Yes, you never can tell, and until she speaks, because we are only hearing one part of the story. Yeah, so but one thing this whole situation is actually showing me is marriage is not actually what we see online. That people are actually going through private thing that we can't even imagine in our head. And sometimes what looks like a sudden ending to us has actually been building up for years behind closed doors that we don't know. Still, the part that really stayed with me is that finding out that your partner has moved on through the internet. And to be honest, that is something I wouldn't wish anybody. Yes, this whole story just raised a lot of questions in my head about communication, about honestly, and about closure, and most importantly about how people choose to actually walk away from relationship. Because at the end of the day, no matter what happened between them, closure is important, respect is important, and clarity is also important. But then, like I said earlier, this is still unfolding, honestly. And until we hear this both side of the story, or let me say more facts to come out, all we can really do is observe and learn. But then, my dear, I want to know what you think in your head, like I'm thinking too. Do you actually believe in this guy's story? If you believe, let's talk about it in the comment section. Please and please, do not forget to subscribe, turn on your notification bell for more story gist like this, like and share my video. Thank you for watching. Stay cool, stay connected, stay safe.
10 years of my life, it pained me, Baba. If I had a kid out of wedlock, I would have been justified that, oh, Mayowa can do whatever she wants to do. If I had a kid out of wedlock, I would have been justified. What did I do but just love? Mayowa traveled 6 years, and for the small money I was earning, I was sending money to Mayowa every time. I have receipts here.
You were saying that
I was sending money abroad. I was sending flowers. I had friends in the US, and I would beg them to buy flowers and deliver in her house. Show you. Now look at your mouth. Mayowa didn't bother to come back since 2021. I did not see Mayowa again until last year that I sent her money to buy ticket to come to Nigeria. I went with 2 cars to the airport with my friends. I gave my friends phone so that they welcome her. I couldn't get a clip of me hugging my wife. You haven't seen your husband in 4 years, and I went to pick you up at the airport and you did not hug me. We got home and she did not kiss me, she did not hug me. I slept in the living room for 2 days. I never get car since I came to Lagos. Last year was the first time I got a car. I bought a Lexus RX 350. I bought it with my hard-earned money when I stopped sending money abroad.
So you were sending money abroad?
I was sending money. I would send when Mayowa would call me and tell me the money is too small. How much did they pay me? I would do a gig of 500k. I would send 200k. The receipts are here.
How can you call your wife for 3-4 days and she will not call? She will not call back. She will not pick. Anytime I call her, now when she dey inside motor, she got a house and got a male flatmate.
What?
She got a house and got a male flatmate and said, you know how you can sublet your room. But why a male? I was not comfortable with it.
Nobody will be.
But I let it slide. Only for me to find out 2 days ago that the person that she was staying, that she claimed was a flatmate, was sleeping with her.
Is it the same guy she married?
No. I've been in love, but I stupid. I saw a picture of her sitting in a restaurant on a man's leg. Right? It seems like a normal picture.
Let me see.
Look at the iPad on the table. What do you see?
Let me see.
Zoom in. You can zoom in. Let me help you.
No, I'm doing that.
Look at the iPad on the table. What do you see?
Okay,
That's hard.